I guess this is a vlog of sorts, and this is me just kind of explaining my thoughts as things progress inside my career as an artist. And I know a lot of people have been facing a lot of challenges inside of what they're doing. A lot of us look at being an artist as something that's challenging and um, unattainable at times. There's a lot of things that we don't understand throughout our careers. Um, One of those biggest things is if you can look at things from a larger perspective, these last few years have kind of been a narrow point, a narrow point in how you're supported and how others are doing. And as an artist, we kind of become the last thing on the totem pole, right? And it's not to say that art is the last thing on the totem pole, but in a capitalist way, I for myself, I worked for the school board, and the first thing that got cut was art funding and art projects and things like that. And that was at the start of COVID, and then as things went on, you got some support from the government, and you kept on going. And the most interesting thing for me was that I really came to a point of like, is this for money or is this for expression? And those cliche kind of aspects. And you know you can study algorithms, you can study markets and everything like that, but at the point of a real artist, you will see what is the expression of the soul, what is the expression of self inside of that, and then hopefully that is a thing that is reflected that people relate to. And you know the artist is always that archetype of the struggler and things like that, or it's the opposite, it's the one that finds all of the success and all of the right avenues to get forward. And a lot of people will say, well, that's opportunity, that is skill, and I can't even tell you what that exactly is, because in my art career I felt that I wasn't somebody that was maybe the best talented, but I was always someone that would work hard and would work for the right purposes. And those purposes were like, how can I use this thing that I am doing to help others? And a big part of my career was teaching and helping at risk youth and helping them find expression and things like that. And then we're now at a point where it's like I don't know if that like expression is viable anymore. And that is difficult because we need artists. We need people that express something deeper than a monetary purpose, but it still has to be integrated in some way. But like, how do you express that and go forward with it? One thing that I think about a lot is that authentic expression is probably one of the most important parts of art. If you look at movies and you look at any type of piece of work that relates back to the spirit of self and the spirit of others, is that that's authentic. And we're in an age where like authenticism seems, and if that's even a word, or maybe I'm making that up right now, it seems very distant. And you know, as a man, my purpose in life is to be an artist, but it is also to be authentic. And if I can't express those things in the same point of view, then that doesn't fulfill my art. My art as an aesthetic is always an explorative kind of new thing. And that's why I shared the last painting that I did, and the work that I have to be showing you guys, because this is kind of like my jump off point. It's like either this is going to be my jump off or it's going to be my downfall. And a lot of people don't want to bet everything on these things, but the times that we're in, it's getting harder to express that because there's not a lot of gateways in between success and not. People don't have money to spend on art anymore, and those that are spending their money on art are within very small demographics. And so artists are getting tighter, and you know, many artists that I speak to will tell you like, oh, like I'm not experiencing that. But there are those people that had months and months and months of worth of contracts and things, and they were living in success. And that does not say that I wasn't living in success, because for 14, 15 years I've lived in success, and I've lived to make the things that I needed to happen. And that was just feeding myself and 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 being proud enough of where I was to just to be where I am. And now I can no longer do that. And there's many things around me that are happening that are reflecting a hard struggle. And I don't need to get into those aspects of what those are, but my closest people are struggling, and I feel it, and I think a lot of other people feel it as well. And it just gets more difficult, and I meet anger with the part of like, that's not going to help me, but I need to express it in a way that makes sense so that my story just doesn't fade away. Um, I'm figuring that out in the interim. And so I want to make this last kind of this death dance, like are you going to make this work? Are you not? And it's difficult because I don't want to be in that state of this is the last thing that I'm ever going to do, but I also want to do it with calculated ways of like expression. And the biggest part of that is the authentic self. And so this is the first part of being in that way, and I just know that this is the first part of how I do that, and to kind of create this vlog to express my ideas and how I'm seeing things and how I'm feeling with things, and and that being a big part of what this is. This is not going to be an edited kind of like funky cuts every 30 seconds. This is just straight raw thoughts. And like the one thing that I'm kind of leaning into at this first part is gratitude, and and how do I use that to elevate myself? Because even though that like a lot of people that I see around me and a lot of situations in the world and everything are telling me different, it's like I could sit here and express like, oh, this is all bullshit and this is all that the only part of me that has control is that expression, and how do I express that in an authentic way that people feel that vibration from, because a lot of us don't vibe with expressions that are honest. Like, a lot of us get hauled in the bullshit and hauled in the I can't do it, and like, but there is a part of us too that it's like I feel hopeless, and I like, and like, how do you express that, and how do you do it in an authentic way that resonates with others to inspire them? Because if I'm sitting here like somebody that is a guru or whatever, like a uber positive person that is looking beyond things, and they're like, well, no, you just need to express the bigger things, because that's going to bring in all of the great things that you want. And that's what we talk about with like things like The Secret and things like that. And like, and I do believe that, yeah, having a positive perspective is awesome, but having an authentic expression is even more important. Because if you're looking at things in a way where you're delusional about like, yeah, I'm struggling, and yeah, I'm feeling these blockades of success because of the way the world is, that's going to be more relatable, because I think most of us are feeling that. And if we're not in that space, what are we doing? It's difficult. So anyways, this is just the first part of the blog of, I don't know, my death dance. I guess that's what I'm going to call this. But if anybody has something to say, I'd be more than happy to hear your expression. Thank you.